by saying this. I'm not a victim at all. I got into this knowing that it would fall apart. I got into this knowing it would be crazy. And I got into this pretty much aware that I'd be at this point at some point. How did I know this? A, I've been through it before. B, I watched one guy get fired after another. I'll also explain to you in this episode why I haven't been fired yet, because it's just simply logical, isn't it? So Nick, there's nothing to predict. We all knew. It's just, this is the way Keem operates. What he does is he sees what you guys write in the chat, and if there's a certain amount of complaints, then he tries to react to it. The podcast was never going to settle and kind of become its own thing. And when he asked me to be on, he told me he was just trying to get the whole thing rolling for Boogie and Wings. Then I find out he's taking a cut. Well, why can't he take a cut? Because, well, it's his idea. Everything has been produced by him. We wouldn't get off the ground something like this if it had not been for him. He comes in and takes a cut. So it's constantly changing. And the chaos that you saw in the beginning was something I totally expected. And what happens is Keem kind of zeroes in on somebody, makes them the enemy. They get rid of them. I'll read all these at the end, by the way. Makes them the enemy, and then just picks 1-1-1. I was in focus. Then it went back to Connor. Then it went to D-Max. Then it's just the way it goes. It's complete and total chaos. Again, I'm not a victim. I knew that's the way it was going to be. I know. Look, I was in the Army. I know what leadership looks like. He doesn't have it. Keem is a fantastic performer, and he's an idea guy. But as far as any kind of management's concerned, he's completely incompetent in that area. And how I relate to it. First of all, I am not an employee of Keem LLC. Never have been. I receive a check through PayPal, and it's up to me to declare in Germany. There are no shares, despite what you hear. I have nothing in my possession written down saying I have so-and-so shares of this project. None. It's never existed. I simply get a cut, a 25% cut of whatever money comes into the show. That's it. That's what I signed for. And it's good extra money. Like for a part-time job, it's like fantastic. There are no shares. There is no 25% ownership. I own nothing. I have nothing in my name, and nor does any of those other guys have anything in their name that says they own anything. Keem owns the show, lock, stock, and barrel. And that's why I haven't been fired yet, because it blows up the shares narrative, the 25% ownership, and the stuff that we all have to agree before something's done, like somebody's fired. Connor got fired. I was against it. That's it. The Poolard Pensers got canned last night because he found something to fire him with over even though we actually absolutely needed him to make thumbnails and stuff. When I was in a meeting with Boogie and Wings, they both wanted to keep him. We both decided we wanted to keep him. So he was just fired yesterday unilaterally. Everything that's been done, every change that is made has been unilateral by Keem. Therefore, he owns the podcast. Lock, stock, and barrel. That's it. There's no shares. It's a myth. There are no 25% ownership. It's a myth. How can I prove that? Everything that has been done, every change that has been made has been unilateral. I'm not complaining about this. I knew this and sort of rolled my eyes when the fans, who are really just kind of like last time, the fans are getting fucked. I mean, you guys are getting screwed. I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting me the way you are. It's been hysterical. Me and Wings are going back and forth. That's when I saw the Lolcow live tweet. These guys can't even put it together. And I'm like, oh, this is a work. Keem doesn't want me on Lolcow talking about stuff like this. He doesn't want me to say that the whole thing is his project, his alone, his management, and he pays. He is the boss. I think that Wings and Boogie, even though they probably don't know what shares are, they don't know what part ownership is, they actually believe this stuff, but they don't own anything. And they couldn't produce any paperwork to say otherwise. Keem owns this thing, lock, stock, and barrel. And that's why I haven't been fired as of yet. Because once he fires me, then everything you heard about shares and money is bullshit. It's just complete and total horseshit. It's done. It's finished. You've been lied to about the situation before. And I think I think he kind of thinks he still has a ton of 13-year-old fans that can be told about NDAs and told about this and told about that, and they'll just kind of buy it, but they don't. Like, most of our fans are in their 20s and 30s, and a handful of guys in their 40s. That's why nobody bought this NDA stuff to begin with. I mean, if you think I'm giving Keemstar my address, you're nuts. My name wasn't even spelled right. By the way, my name's not actually Tommy. Would you believe that?
Yeah. You had a jersey. Yeah, you weren't allowed to have a jersey once.
It's Thomas. My name's not actually Callan. It's Callanan. When the NDA came in, I was like, no, this is where I draw the line. And I didn't draw the line because he couldn't hold it against me legally. He can't. We're in different countries. But if I sign it, I'll be immediately, within a week or two, I'll be in violation of it. And then he can sell that to you. Everything's about selling to you. Everything. Bringing Boogie back after he said he couldn't be fired, and then he was fired, and then they had a bunch of polls. Hey, he tattooed himself. Once he felt comfortable with the poll being what it was, that's when he brought Boogie back. That's what this show is. It's nothing more or nothing less than that. That's what it is. That's why I was being pulled constantly. When I fall below 50, I'm gone. Then they can justify firing me. They don't need agreement from Boogie and Wings. They just need Keem. What's your proof? Connor, Chupa, all those guys. Pulled pencils. None of our input has ever been respected. This is Keem's thing, and it's okay. It's okay. I knew it was Keem's thing. I would just roll my eyes and pretend that it wasn't. There's nothing there. Some of the other things that came up, somebody wanted to know why I wanted to record the conversation between Keem. Well, that's real simple. When I came back, I said, we're going to discuss the NDA. I want it recorded. You're welcome to record it on your end. The reason I wanted that recorded, and I don't want every single meeting recorded like was said on the show. That's not true at all. I didn't record the meeting between Boogie and Wings, so there's no reason to, is because I was going to refuse to sign the NDA, and I was pretty sure he was going to go to the public and say I quit. So, no. Then I could say, no, I didn't quit. I just won't sign the NDA. And that's really, I think, what this comes down to a certain extent. The NDA is meaningless for anything in reality. I think he just wants me kind of like Boogie and Wings and kind of clinging for the money. No. I'm not in that bad a shape, first of all. Second of all, I'm not going to demean myself that way. That's utterly ridiculous. And the NDA is completely unenforceable. But in a public relations perspective, it is. So if I sign it, I'm just in violation of the NDA. Or if you want to stay on, I could find you in violation of the NDA, or you could do this, which was never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So no, I'm going to sign the NDA, and I'm ready to work. There you go. That's it. That's it. And don't get distracted. The NDA, it's a red herring. Boogie's freaking out on me. It's a red herring. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. As far as actually making content on there and making these scenarios, that's bullshit too. I was part of no type of work.
Stop the point, bitch.
The only thing that was ever fake were some of those thumbnails. And I don't really give a shit about that because that's YouTube. So you can, if you want to call that fake drama, that's me. Those thumbnails are bullshit. What's her name got kidnapped? No, that never happened. That's just a joke. It's a goof. When organic drama happened organically. And it's always going to happen with Keem. It's always going to happen organically around Keem and guys like Boogie and Wings. Keem especially because he's constantly trying to do the next thing and move the next chess piece. You know, you don't see this with any other podcast. You don't see this with any other YouTube thing. You see with Keem. So what does he have to do now? What he's going to continue to do, I doubt I'll ever be on again or allowed to be on again, is try to make me a bad guy. And whatever finally hits, last time I handed him the rope, right? Whatever finally hits, then I'll be let go because you wanted me gone. Because he can't get rid of me now for two reasons. A, everything he said about the show's financial situation and being a team thing and being part owned is horseshit. And it's going to piss a lot of people off. Once that falls, it's see you wouldn't want to be you. And I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. Would I like to do Lolcow now and forever? Sure. Is that reasonable under these conditions? No.
What's up, bro?
What's up?
So two questions. First, the tattoo.
Do you really think that tattoo is real, or do you
I've
think
seen these pictures? Wouldn't it be funny if it was? I hope it's not real because that's funnier.
It's fading like hell? And I mean, I have tattoos, and he said that he's not doing aftercare properly because they didn't tell him to do aftercare, which would be kind of fucked up on the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think it's real, and it's starting to look like it's not.
Well, I saw some pictures. I didn't know if they were altered or what have you. All I can say is I hope it's not real. That would be hysterical. That would be terribly funny.
It really would be.
That would be terribly funny. Yeah, go ahead.
And then the second question is, so you were there for, I guess, the Destiny stream, the initial one, and then you were on vacation for the subsequent two.
Sure.
So when Keem said that he, quote unquote, bought out Boogie shares and he was going to rip up the contract, it was all BS pretty much, right?
Yes. And it's funny, like they believe their own BS because like Boogie was telling me in the meeting that, those shares are real. Well, I don't have any. You know, like there's no shares. There's I think Wings actually believes this stuff. And I think
because
then Keem hopes that adults believe this. Like in the old days when his you think of 2016, if you were 13 or 14, you're in your early 20s now. If you're any older than that, you're in your late 20s. If you're in your mid 20s, now you're in your mid 30s. You know, so like it does it the same group, the Logan Paul sort of area of the internet is gone. So he's just managing the thing like it's old 2016 YouTube where there's a lot of young people. Our audience is people in their 20s that have jobs.
Yep.
It's not, you know, we're not getting $1 donations. That's what kids can afford.
Yeah.
So
and the other thing too is whenever the NDA was out, it said Keemstar LLC and all that. So in my opinion, that pretty much told you that there was an LLC. I figured it was for tax purposes.
There is an LLC, but I am not employed by it. I am paid by it.
Stop the point, bitch.
I got you.
I'm not. I've never had employment. I'd have to do all sorts of shit in Germany to say I was working over. I've never filed any paperwork with Germany. I have to declare that money.
Yeah, that just seems like a headache and a half.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. Well, you wanted to pay me, and I think those guys are direct to bank, but it's too much of a pain in the ass to do a foreign bank. So I just send it to me over here, and it's my responsibility.
Shop the point,
it's my responsibility. Good thing my wife has an account.
There you go.
That's it.
Cool.
Nobody made $10,000 a month. The whole thing was generating about $10,000 a month, which, by the way, I'm very grateful for. Super grateful for. And the thing that bothers me, and I said this last time with Baited, you guys are the ones getting screwed. Because I sat down and I was in there trying to talk to people, get their complaints, get their suggestions and stuff like that. You guys really want this to work. Really, really want this to work. Some of you invested thousands for this thing to work. And I'm really sorry.
Hello. It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and the only detractor channel that's worth watching is Duty Streams.